Yo, it's your boy Luap coming back at it again with another video. In this video, I will recap and review Pokemon Journeys episode 103, Ash and Clemont, Great Friendship Training, as well as episode 104, Ultra Class versus DRASNA of the Elite Four, and give my predictions for episode 105, Eevee and Sylveon, Encounters and Reunions. If you guys enjoy episode reviews as well as recaps each and every week, then I highly suggest you hit the like button and subscribe, as it truly helps support the channel. Today is Pokemon's 25th anniversary, and as a special thanks for that, I'll be doing a double episode review. I hope you enjoy the format. I'll first recap, then review episode 103, and then follow it back with episode 104 after that. My good buddy Starvicer also made a video for Pokemon's 25th anniversary where he did a Nuzlocke on the unreleased Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. He got an early access code, and I recommend you watch that after this video. But with all that out of the way, let's begin by recapping the events of episode 103. The episode begins with Ash and Go arriving at the Lumiose airport. They immediately part ways because Go wants to catch a Pokemon and Ash plans to meet up with his old friends Clemont and Bonnie. But then Ash sees a TV sequence advertising Elite Four, DRASNA, and himself announcing their upcoming battle in the World Coronation Series. We also got a brief scene of Diantha in here. The opening scene plays and we get to see that Go's Graveler, Golbat, and Cloyster have been added to the Kanto shot. On Go's end, we see that he encounters a Froakie while walking by the lake. He tries to catch it but actually fails. The writers wouldn't want Go to have a Greninja as well, right? Out of nowhere, Bonnie appears and starts telling him about Froakie. In another scene, we see that Clemont defeats a gym challenger with his Luxray, and soon after that, Ash enters the gym. We get a cute reunion where Ash and Clemont show their Pokemon to one another, and Clemont's Bunnelby is shown to have evolved into Diggersby. Ash's Dragonite, being the cutie that he is, hugs Clemont like he did with Iris, and Dracovish starts biting Ash's head. Then we see Surfetch trying to strike its leak as if he's trying to use a new move, and that's actually Meteor Assault. Surfetch starts glowing, but before he could even master the move, Dracovish is shown to have a fetish on its leak and chomps down on it. Ash and Pikachu work together to remove the leak from Dracovish's mouth so Surfetch could resume his training. Once again, it couldn't help escape Dracovish's mouth. Surfetch accidentally launches Meteor Assault, which causes both of them to faint. So Clemont concludes that he just hasn't mastered it yet. Back to Go, he looks super tired trying to catch Froakie, but the frog is just as tired, so Go eventually catches it, which makes Froakie the first non-Galarian starter Pokemon that Go has permanently caught. Bonnie then tells Go to go with her to the Lumiose gym because her brother is the gym leader there. Of course, this surprises Go since he knows that that's where Ash is going right now. Back at the gym, Clemont attaches some orange balls all over Surfetch's body to analyze the energy coming out of him when trying to learn the move Meteor Assault. Not long after, Go and Bonnie arrive and we get a cool introduction between Go and Clemont. And Bonnie gives Ash his favorite Lumiose Galette. Bonnie's attention is instantly grabbed by the cuteness of Dracovish and she starts playing with him. Clemont continues on analyzing the energy waves produced by Meteor Assault until they find the perfect rhythm to master it. In typical Ash fashion, he joins Surfetch on his training, but for the third time this episode, Dracovish munches on the leak yet again. This creates a huge explosion and even causes Clemont's machine to blow up just like the good old days. Clemont then challenges Ash to a battle in order to further train their Pokemon, and they both agree on having a double battle so that both Surfetch and Dracovish can get some warm up before the DRASNA battle. Clemont uses Luxray and Diggersby, but the battle doesn't last long as Surfetch one-shots Luxray with Meteor Assault. Next, Dracovish is also shown to have learned a new move as well, Dragon Rush. It clashes with Diggersby's Hammer Arm, and Dracovish also OHKOs a newly evolved Rabbit. After the battle, Ash and Clemont make their signature fist bump, and we see the bond between Surfetch and Dracovish has gone stronger than ever. But Ash isn't the only one training for his PWC match, as we see DRASNA is training with Altaria against Wickstrom's Excavalier. She definitely takes this battle seriously, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next episode. But for now, let me first give my ratings and reviews for episode 103. This episode did an amazing job of setting up the battle between Ash and DRASNA. We get to see both Dracovish and Surfetch learn a new move, which I'm sure will come in handy in the battle. It was nice to see at the end that DRASNA is also doing some training with Wickstrom and is taking this battle seriously. Go catching Froakie was also cool, and I'm sure that this will cause some drama within the Go hating fandom. At the same time, I feel like we'll also get to see it in the Ash Greninja episode at some point. Clemont and Bonnie's return were handled fine. I don't think it was particularly amazing on either side for me personally, but by no means was it bad. The continuity of Clemont's inventions blowing up was also a nice returning gag. Also, Bonnie being the Dragon Master that she is, when she only showed interest in Dracovish. To me, Surfetch mastering Meteor Assault so quickly was kinda weird. They just super rushed it just to get out for the DRASNA battle, but whatever. Bunnelby evolving off screen was also kinda sad for me since I thought it was cute as a Bunnelby. And then the double battle of it and Luxray getting immediately one-shotted just to artificially show how strong Surfetch and Dracovish have gotten was kind of dumb. That's it for the bad things for this episode, as I generally felt that it was decent. The pacing was great, The OST was off the hook, and the sceneries all looked above average as well. My rating for episode 103 is a 7 out of 10. But now with all that out of the way, let's dive into episode 104 with the recap. The episode begins with Ash and his Pokemon in the backstage of the Lumiose Stadium waiting for the battle to commence. Wickham enters the room and is proud to see that the Farfetch'd he trained before has now evolved into the powerful Sirfetch'd. DRASNA then shows up, and unlike most trainers, she immediately recognizes Dracovish, being the dragon expert that she is. Ash and DRASNA shake hands as a sign of respect before battling it out in the battlefield, and DRASNA's gentle yet eccentric personality was highlighted very well. The opening sequence rolls in, and we see the animators instantly updated with Froakie finding its place with Ghost Kalos Pokemon. The battle between Ash and DRASNA soon begins as they send in Sirfetch'd and Noivern respectively. Right off the bat, we get a clash between Super Fang and Brutal Swing, as Sirfetch'd takes the upper hand by blocking Noivern's mouth with its shield and slamming it in the face with its leek. But DRASNA proves that she's an Elite Four member and commands Noivern to use Boom Burst, blowing away Sirfetch'd and cracking the stadium. Noivern follows up with Dragon Pulse, which Sirfetch'd couldn't evade, causing the duck to lose both its sword and its shield. Another Boom Burst deals additional damage to Sirfetch'd, but he uses the opportunity to jump on the rocks and retrieve his sword and shield flying in the air. Sirfetch'd attempts to use its signature Meteor Assault, but Noivern just blocks it and further damages him with Dragon Pulse. Sirfetch'd is barely standing as Ash makes a wise decision of recalling Sirfetch'd and sending out Dracovish. We get a clash between two Fang moves, but the Ice Fang seems to have done more damage to Noivern, causing DRASNA to recall it. She then sends out Altaria, and Dracovish instantly gets attracted by its plumes and tries to go chomp on it. Ash uses this to his advantage and instructs Dracovish to use Ice Fang, but Altaria is quick to defend with Cotton Guard. DRASNA then decides that now is the time to Mega Evolve, and she whips out her bracelet, and we get a really awesome scene of Altaria transforming into Mega Altaria. DRASNA calls for a very powerful Sky Attack, as Ash uses the Recharge Time to command Dracovish to use Ice Fang. DRASNA evades Ice Fang and manages to land its Sky Attack. Altaria then goes for Play Rough to immobilize Dracovish in the process. Then it fires a Water Gun, causing Altaria to look like this. Ash makes another rookie mistake by using Dragon Rush on a Fairy type. We then get a clash between Breaking Swipe and Ice Fang, and both Pokemon are exhausted. This leads Ash to recall Dracovish for Sirfetch'd, but Dracovish decides to stay outside of its Pokewall to support its best friend. Ash and DRASNA go all out with Meteor Assault and Breaking Swipe, as the two birds are caught in a huge collision and Altaria dead. But not long after, Sirfetch'd also goes down, bringing the battle to a final one-on-one between Dracovish and Noivern. As Ash recalls Sirfetch'd to its Pokeball, the duck also wants to stay outside and cheer for its new bestie. Noivern first lands a back-to-back Dragon Pulse and Boom Burst, which Dracovish manages to survive. The battle ends with a final clash between Dragon Pulse and Dragon Rush, and Noivern is the first to go down, winning Dracovish the battle. This moves Ash's rank to number 9, meaning that he's just one battle away from being in the Masters 8. Outside the stadium, DRASNA and Wickham congratulate Ash and his Pokemon for an amazing battle, but Bonnie has other plans. Some things never change, as she asks DRASNA of all people to take care of her brother. I guess Bonnie does have an interesting taste in girls for her brother. Clemont embarrassingly pulls her aside with his Apom arm, and that's where the episode ends. So the battle between Ash and DRASNA was honestly a letdown in my opinion. It wasn't bad animation wise, but it just wasn't as good as I was hoping. We started off the Hyperclass really strong with the Volcaner battle, and I was just slightly let down with this one. On one hand, I enjoyed the switching in this battle, but on the other hand, Sirfetch'd coming back to one-shot the Mega Altaria with Meteor Assault despite not being able to use it effectively early in the battle was just dumb. Something about it felt cheap, especially with it getting tossed around by Noivern over and over again, but somehow not fainting. Like, I was genuinely surprised when I saw how much it was getting thrown around with Boom Burst, and then ended up living. The battle was entertaining, but I just felt that it didn't have the factor that a Hyperclass battle this close to the Masters 8 should have. With Ash now being in 9th place of the World Coronation Series, it's going to be interesting to see who he battles next. What are your thoughts? I genuinely enjoyed Wickham being here as well, and he had the long lost GS ball on him, which was pretty cool too. Clemont and Bonnie were good supporting characters on the sideline, and the ending scene with Clemont and Bonnie having their scene with DRASNA was also great. My rating for this episode is a 7 out of 10. Usually I found that second halves of two-parters tend to be weaker in Pokemon journeys, but this one was consistently the same. Clemont and Bonnie's returns weren't bad at all, and while I don't think we're going to see them again in Pokemon journeys, it was great to see them again nonetheless. I mean, we might get a mention of them when Ash eventually meets Serena. Speaking of Serena, let's take a look at the preview trailer for episode 105 and give our predictions. We get introduced to Licia, and she is seen with an Altaria. Interesting choice to have Altaria featured in 3 episodes back to back out of all Pokemon. We see that Chloe will be entering the contest and that Wallace will be in this episode as well. I made a YouTube shorts about my predictions for this one, which you should totally check out if you haven't seen it yet. We see that Wallace has a Swampert and it's going to battle against Ash. I predict that this battle will end in a draw or just that there's going to be no decision. Perhaps midway through the battle the contest is going to start, so they're just going to have to end it prematurely to go see Chloe's performance. As for how Chloe will perform in the contest, I think that she's going to come up short and not win it exactly. No way that she wins it, but I think that her performance will be amazing nonetheless. I also think that the Sylvia might not be Lycia's and just a random trainer, but at the same time I think that it's highly likely that it's hers. What are your predictions on this one? So yeah, that was my review for Pokemon Journeys episode 103 and 104, as well as my predictions for episode 105. If you guys enjoyed it, I highly urge you to hit the like button and subscribe. I make episode reviews every week just a few hours after the episode airs, so if you enjoyed these reviews right after the episode, you know where to come. Today's comment of the day is, now that we've seen Ash beat an Elite Four member for the first time, who is another Elite Four trainer you'd like to see him battle and defeat? I wouldn't say Elite Trainer Mark, I'd actually go with Flynn in the Masters 8. He has previously lost to him and rather recently beat his best friend Volkner. It'd be really a cool catalyst to see him beat him to get into the Masters 8, since Flynn is currently ranked number 8. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I truly appreciate you, and as always, it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.
カロス四天王のドラ